She was just such a very nice lady. I mean, her spirit was so welcoming and so embracing. And I mean, I had just moved in the building, like, months, I think. And the fact that she was speaking to me and acknowledging me, opening up to me like that was what I had for her was hair envy. Because I'm wearing this because I have nothing. And today, when I saw her, and her hair was. So, I enjoyed knowing Siva. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to see her in the nursing home because my days, but I will always remember her as a lady, beautifully dressed lady, and Green's mom. Yes. I guess I did go to the monument birthday party, and I was trying to remember who it was that was playing, the disco. And yes, I would come in with myself, like 19 years old. She enjoyed it all. And I want to have I just want to say to the family and friends, I heard so much about this lady that I didn't know, but the way that you know her. And I really trust that God will keep you all together, that his arms of comfort will surround you, so that, I know we all have different ways of grieving, but the fact that you knew such a beautiful and wonderful lady, I pray that that will be a comfort to you.
So, I'm one of my she was blessed with a set of things as a person. And I remember her being very kind. She didn't say much, very quiet, but she loved us. You could see that she has deep love for her children and especially her grandchildren. That's the birth of her children. I remember when she usually worked, there's always something wrong with her work. No matter how much she works, she always has something for us. And so it's a memory to remember that no matter how it was, she was always kind to us. And I remember when she went to Canada, she would call during the cold time, what was the cold time, and she would either come to Jamaica or go to Ghana, in America, Ohio, and stay with me. But she was a flexible person. She didn't make anything work with her. Nothing at all. And that's the way she always talked about her. She never had many friends because God was her comfort, and her family were her friends. So may her soul rest in peace. And we will remember her Daddy said that we are in charge, but I'm the eldest one, so I'm in charge of everything. What I remember about Mama, oh my Lord, so many memories. As we said
there's so much, there's so much to say about very little time about some of these things. Growing up in Jamaica with her, Mama always made us the best food, as you said, susumba. Oh my God. A lot of you don't know susumba, but that susumba is a little green peas thing that grow on trees. And Mama used to pick those off and pick gully bean. Just cut it in two and make the most delicious rice. That gully bean would.
You never taste bitter?
No. No, let me tell you, Mama could get this. You would take the sprinkler of no. The sprinkler of, I don't know how Mama did it. No, I've never seen anybody replicated Mama's way of cooking. Because she could take anything and make it into a delicious meal that I've never seen. She cooked at our primary school. She became a cook at our primary school in Peruvian, and Mama would, everybody would want Mama's food when she was there because she was such a good cook. Even chicken back. Mama could let chicken back chase better than KFC. That's how good she was. I really enjoyed those. She stayed with me, as Anne Marie mentioned, for 6 months. When I was in Ohio, I didn't have to cook. I knew meals were ready. The one thing I remember though, she didn't talk much, but she loved shopping. One morning I came in tired from work. I'm a nurse. So I came in tired from work one morning and Mama accosted me at the door and said, "Let me ask you something. When you carry shopping? Been here for so long and you don't carry shopping. You think your mother could come up here and you have her lock up in the house every day?" And I'm looking at Mama like, all right, well now wake up and take your shopping. Because that's all she loved. Apart from her Bible, cooking, shopping was it. When she goes, she shopped for the nicest of things. Yes. That's always Mama. She liked classic stuff. Just like the lady said, she was a dresser. And she always, I remember, when she went to the store in Ohio, they always go to buy a dress for church. I buy a dress for the little girl. I buy a dress to go to church. She never ever forgot to see church dress. And that was very significant for me because I think at the time she was living with you. Yeah. And she bought. And I would say, "So what happened to Auntie Janet?" And she said, "But Janet don't go to church." The little girl, she always saw Auntie Sweetie as a little girl. And that's significant, that no matter how big you are as children, you're always a child. Yeah. So that's my fond memory of Mama. I will always hold her in the Zoom talks. And the Zoom talks, so let me tell you, for the pandemic, we had wonderful, Auntie Janet, we had wonderful Zoom talks. Yes, Mama. All our birthdays, we celebrate.
They're always there too.
Yeah. So let me tell you, technology is also very good. Yes. So use it to your advantage. You have families all over the world. You have absolutely no excuse at home to connect with your family. Connect with your family.
It's so emotional to think about Mama.
Okay, go ahead. You got it? Exactly. I'm not going to bring you to the hospital. Start from here.
Well, Mama was my friend, and asked about any and everything. And I look forward to that. And I loved the way how she loved God and loved to read her Bible. And encouraged me to always be okay. You read your Bible. That was always her, you read your Bible. And if I took long to answer, she said, and then I knew that, okay, maybe I need to like pull up my socks. And she'd hand me like a daily bread and quarterly, because she said, okay, I got these from church people, you want one of them? And I said, yes. So Mama was so, we were so close, and she cared a lot about me and my son, so I appreciated that. I'm not saying, we all care about each other, we're remembering Mama. So, you know, that was good for me to know that, you know, because we lost our mom, okay? So Mama was like, to me, a second mom. So having that kind of compassion was very soothing, and yes, she cared a lot, and she gave good advice, like, you can do it, if I can do it, you know, as a single mother, you can do it too. And that was good. She was like that. And because we were both quiet, we strengthened each other in ways that, I guess she was amongst, because she didn't like a lot of loud noise or chatter around her. So that we were both each other's strength. And she looked forward, like when I used to visit her at the long-term care or wherever, or when I used to come by here, it was great. The experience was great. So I don't want to be boring anymore because it's just a lot to think that Mama is really going to understand that she's in a better place. But when you have someone who understands you and allows you the way she did, it's going to be hard. Knowing that I can't visit her at a long-term care or anything like that, but it's okay. The memories are the positives, and we'll pull strength from that. So, may God continue to care for Mama, and she's in a better place, and we'll see her on that great day when death will no longer be around.
I just want to say also that Mama was so caring that 2 weeks before Mama died, she came to Jamaica and saw when her came and visited, and Mama died 2 weeks afterwards.
Yeah.
Yes. And she wanted to see her for 10
Yeah.
You know something, a fun memory, or something that Daddy last week, and he said, one thing about my mother, she was, as everybody said before, she was always in a fight. And for children to really see and remember, that's about their parents, instead of their parents being loud and vulgar. And, the same difference,
That's
every, throughout the whole speech and remembrance today, it was always about Mama being such a godly woman. One thing I'm thankful for is 2 days before she died, Marcy had gone to the home, the hospital, and called me. I was at work and she called me. And she said, I work from home, so I picked up the phone, because I knew something was going on with Mama. And Marcia said, Donna, pray for Mama. And before I started praying, I started pouring into her. I said, Mama, I thank you. I just started saying everything. I said, Mama, I thank you so much for what you do for us as children. I want to cry. I just started giving her flowers right there, because that was the last time I was in the hospital. And she was crying. But we always did, though. We always give her flowers and tell her how beautiful she was. I just had to do it again, so she would real time her how much Right, and I called Daddy and I said, Daddy, you need to talk to your mom because I think people don't understand this enough. I've been in nursing for so long. And I've worked with hospice patients, and I've seen hospice patients hold on for months upon months, and I'll go to the hospice and she has got it. She's waiting for somebody. And I turned to Daddy and I said, Daddy, I don't know how to talk, but I think your mother is waiting to hear your voice again. As I always call, she always called and said, I need to talk to her son every month. Janet used to call and said, you see what the doctor's son. But Daddy spoke to her, and I think that was very, very important. Although she wasn't talking, she was hearing, and she heard the voice of her firstborn. And that was significant. Speak to your family. Give them their flowers, because you never know. Somebody could go out tomorrow, and you never see them. I just heard about two of our classmates from high school. They're in their 50s, pass away. You see what I'm saying? Just like that. So give each other, just as Nadine said earlier, and Sadie, stop sweating with small stuff, because life is too short and fragile, and we don't know when it's our time. We can only sit in here now, and then to open up our hand like that. So cherish the moment with your family and loved ones.
I'm gonna be as comparable to those, but I think I just had one story that I think was very memorable. I think it was back in like 2011. I think I was actually at Auntie Nadine's house, right? We actually planned a beach day. We actually planned a beach day to go to like what, Tom Jackson, something like that, some Jackson Beach. Jackson Point Beach, right? And I remember we basically had got there, settled down, and then there was basically time for lunchtime, right? And I remember this because once again, it's more of like a funny memory to me, but it was such a vital point in terms of how I thought about Mama Eva at that point. Because at that point, I was already raised in Jamaica. I didn't even really have much time with her, unless when I think I was a bit younger, and then she had already moved at that point, right? So this was like almost like a